Some places are defined by geography, others become bigger than geography. And Harlem may be one of the greatest examples of that. Hi, I'm Alexis Onestas, the book strategist. Welcome to Book Strategist Daily. Every day, I share one lesson from building Omax books internationally. Let's build. New York City has 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. Harlem isn't one of them. Harlem is a neighborhood in Manhattan, but culturally, Harlem feels like something's of its own. And this week, after spending some time here, I wanted to experience that differently. Not just visit Harlem, not just walk around Harlem. I wanted to wake up in Harlem. So I decided to stay at the Renaissance New York Harlem Hotel, right next to the Apollo Theater. And I didn't choose it because I needed another nice hotel in New York. I chose the location because I wanted to feel connected to what it represents. The Apollo has been part of Harlem since 1930s. Think about that. Generation of black artists have walked through those doors. Ella Fitzgerald, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonders, Michael Jackson, and so many others. And now, almost a century later, you can walk outside, see that marquee, and immediately understand. Some things happened here. Culture happened here. History happened here. And maybe that's why Harlem has produced so many books that help understand not only the neighborhood, but Black America itself. Dapper Dan tells its own story in Dapper Dan Made in Harlem. His journey shows how Harlem could take luxury, fashion, hip hop, and street culture and create its own language. Then there is James Baldwin Go Tell in On the Mountain, deeply connecting to growing in Harlem. Claude McKee's Home in Harlem, published during the Harlem Renaissance, and even the autobiography of Malcolm X inevitably bring us back to Harlem, where Malcolm X lived, worked, spoke, and became such an important figure in Black history. Different generations, different stories, fashion, literature, politics, music, but the same neighborhood keeps appearing. And that's fascinating to me as a book strategist, because books do some things buildings cannot always do. They preserve the meaning of a place. A building can disappear, a neighborhood can change, the people can move, but decades later, somebody can open a books and enter that Harlem again. And maybe that's one of the reasons Harlem remains Harlem. Its culture hasn't only been lived, it had been documented in books, in music, in film, in photographs, in fashion, in the stories people continue passing from one generation to another. And that matters enormously to me with Omax books, because when we bring African American stories to French speaking readers, we're not simply moving product from one market to another. We're helping stories travel without losing what made them mindfully in the first place. Harlem reminds me that culture becomes powerful when people continue carrying it, generation after generation, sometimes through music, sometimes through building, sometimes through books, sometimes simply through the feeling you get walking down the street. So, here's my question for you. What places are shape the way you understand your own culture, identity, or history? If this episode made you think of somewhere special, follow Book Strategist Daily, leave 5-star rating, and share it with someone who will understand exactly what you mean. You can find me on X, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Instagram, Alexis Onestas. I'm not documenting success, I'm documenting the process. You're listening to Book Strategist Daily from Harlem. Follow the journey, and I will see you tomorrow.